Hi everyone, my name's Kate and welcome back to the Midlife Budget, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, I am going to cash stuff £650 into my weekly expenses for the second week of November and also into my sinking funds and my savings challenges. But first, I'm going to review my budget and my spending for the first week of November to see if we managed to keep on track. So let me bring in my planner. So I use the Budget by Paycheck workbook from the Budget Mom. There we go. And let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see those figures. Okay. So we were paid on the 31st of October and this week's budget runs until the 6th of November. So I carried over £19.77 and we were paid just short of £6,100. We also had child benefit coming this week, and then I used £450 from savings. Now, some of this was from sinking funds, and so it was expected. And we also had £285 worth of completed savings challenges, which I reallocated in my cash stuffing video for the first week of November. Because we are monthly paid, we both get paid on the last working day of the month. Most of our direct debits are set to come out on the 1st. So if it's grey, it's a utility like mortgage, council tax, gas and electric. These greeny yellow colours are insurance. So we have 2 life insurance policies and 2 accident and sickness policies. Then the orange one is my pet insurance. And then this kind of fluorescent yellow colour is subscriptions. So in this week we had coming out mine and my husband's joint gym membership, my son's gym membership, my husband's fitness app and the Ring doorbell subscription. And my son also had £20.99 of his pocket money. And I haven't coloured that one in. And then I spent £5.80 out of budgeting. So that was for a new tracker, like savings challenge tracker for my pound coins. And it was a little bit towards the purchase of this mat, most of which I paid for out of my personal spending. Okay, so all of those bills that come out and a little bit of budgeting came to £3,106.60, and that is most of our bills for the month. And then we move on to variable expenses here at the bottom. So these are kind of my cash envelopes mainly. So we'd set the new food budget of £200, and I'm absolutely thrilled to bits that we came in at £147.51. It's amazing how different I feel about it, that I don't feel so bad and how terrible I am because I've actually come in at what I would think was a decent money amount for the 3 of us. One with dietary requirements and it's everything. It's beer for my husband. It just doesn't include household and toiletries. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. It doesn't include the £11 that I put towards the Dice Baby Challenge, which is over here in the savings goals part. And bearing in mind that I was away from Tuesday afternoon until Friday afternoon, the fact that we managed to stick to that budget with my husband buying lunch at work 3 of those days, yeah, I'm chuffed to bits. Household, we spent £6.90 and toiletries was £9.99, which was shampoo, conditioner and something else for £1.99. Can't remember what it was now. Toothpaste. Shampoo, conditioner and toothpaste is what we bought in toiletries. Can't remember what household was. We didn't spend anything out of miscellaneous. And this school is my son's school lunches for the month. So I do that digitally and that was £80. My husband had his £140 monthly personal spending allowance. He had that at the first week when I cash stuffed, but he actually spent £199.99. So there's £60 to come back out of the cash he was given back into the account because he bought something for his running. And then I spent £76.50 of the 40. That is £16.50 of that was on the book. It was the new Robert Galbraith, which is a pseudonym for J.K. Rowling. It's those sort of detective books that she writes. And I love them and I always buy the first one and I tend to read it, swap a book with a lady at my husband's work who we always swap books with, and then I sell it and I usually get tenner for it. So 2 people have read it and I still get a tenner. What else did I buy? Oh, this mat was the other thing that I paid for on that. So I do need to deduct some money from my personal allowance over the next few weeks to make sure that I stuck to my £140 as well. Eating out was £13.65. That was a takeaway my husband treated my son to while I was away, because he's right in the middle of mock exams. Christmas was £13.50, which is I bought the Queen Bee Makes Secret Santa, which I cannot wait for it to come. I loved it last year. I'm still using some of the bits of it in my Christmas challenge, and the penny popper and things that I did previously, they were all out of that. So, but I need to be careful because a lot of people have bought it. If I see it on their channels, it's gonna be a spoil, because I'm not opening mine till Christmas Eve. It's my husband says, well, just don't put it in your stocking, open it on Christmas Eve. So that's what I'm going to do. And then we spent £111.44 on work expenses. So my husband was away Monday and Tuesday with work on a course. He bought a couple of drinks in the bar. What else did he buy? Oh, he paid for the M6 toll road, and he had to fill his car up with fuel. Now, they'd given him a petrol card and it didn't work. I think it expired, the one that they'd given him. So he had to put £55 worth of fuel in a car, which we have not budgeted for. Now, I do have £110 in my work expenses envelope. So my charge, half of my charging has gone through the account for my trip, but there'll be another part coming out of it. So we'll be able to cover a lot of that, but not all of it. Because as I said, there'll be another 30 odd quid, I think, in next week's budget. And I just need to make sure that I'm not away again this month. I don't think I am, because I've got 2 new people joining my team who need my support, because my team are the national team, so they're all over the country. And these 2 are about as far away from me as you could get. So we'll see what we can do. We might have to adjust the budget and what we put into savings and things later on. So I spent £659.48 in those variable expenses. So that left me £2,881.21. Okay, so over to sinking funds and savings challenges. Remember, I'm not doing many savings challenges at the minute, nor will I be doing masses of them next year. So I funded home insurance, home maintenance, health, budgeting bits, hair, nails, the EV charging and our emergency fund. Last week, I also put £75 into Christmas, £35 into the small challenges I'm running, and £11 to my Dice Baby challenge, which is the one that I take out of my food budget. That's a new challenge I started last week. And then we reallocated £285 of the challenges that I'd completed, plus £15 of the rollover to make it up to £300, into my son's birthday, emergency fund. I think I've done that wrong because I haven't got 150 in my emergency fund. So I've made a mistake somewhere along there. The Christmas £1,000 challenge, I did put £100 of hooked into home projects from those challenges. And then I've got some money here out of the coins that I left at the end of this week. And my long-term debt went out as well. So I'm slightly out when I get to the bottom. I'm slightly out by about £2.94, but there's that much money gone through my account. There's nearly, £4,000 worth of transactions gone through my account this week. So if I'm £2.94 out, I can live with it. It's not the end of the day. Okay, so let me zoom back out again so we can sort out what is left in the tray. Sorry, not in the tray. What is left in my purse at the end of the week. Okay, so I've also got this little pot of coins. Okay, so let's have a look. So there is the £40 that I've got left from food, which I'm over the moon about. £40. So what I've been doing as well is I've got one of these, printed off one of these freebie trackers from the Budget Mom, from her free resource library on her website. I have got like some fancy ones that I bought of these when I first started cash stuffing. I couldn't get the files to open on my work laptop, so I don't know what's going on there. But you can see I had £41.49 left. So I'm pleased with that. So I'm going to get rid of that one, actually. And we'll do a fresh one. Okay, household has got 23, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to leave that because that is a monthly budget. Toiletries has got £20, 10, 20. So we'll leave that one in there as well. Miscellaneous is going to come out because I haven't spent that, and that can go in that little pile there. Eating out has got a £5 left, but I'm just going to roll it over into next week. And then there's nothing left in my spending because I spent it all. So this 45, rather than allocate it to challenges or any of my big goals, I'm just going to put it into rollover because I need to make sure that I can cover that additional work expenses. Plus, I don't think my expenses are going to come through in time. Normally, if I do submit them, I get them mid-month, but they've not been signed off. So I don't think I'm going to get them until the end of the month. So they'll go into next month's budget. They'll be in December's budget. Okay, and that's it. And there's just a bit of money there for back to the bank. I've also been keeping my receipts so that I can remember to scan them into Shopix and earn myself a couple of quid's worth of vouchers, Amazon vouchers. It does take a while to accrue them. It's not like when I used to have the Amazon shopper panel. I used to get about £8 to £10 a month. But it's a little something. Every bit helps, doesn't it? Right, so let's deal with this change before we stuff for week 2. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, £5 coins. I've got 2 pennies, a 2, 2 5s, a 10 and a 20. So we'll do those first. And that is the Bag It and Bank It challenge that I have from Rainbow Budgets and Plans. Okay, so I've got 2 ones. They are blue. I've got 1, 2, which is red. There we go. 2 5s. Completed this one a couple of weeks ago, so we're back to filling the bag again. 2 5s. 1 10. Oh, I've nearly finished this one. I think we'll be cashing that one in November. And 1 20. I do seem to think that you get more 20s than anything else. You can think this is the 4th bag I'll be working on since I started this one. And I've got no 50s. So we'll just pop those over there to dry off. Okay, and all of that goes into this big jar until they're completed, and then it goes back to the bank. Now I've got £5 coins left, which is really exciting because I need £5 to finish my £150 savings challenge for Tropical. So we will do, when I find the red pen, 1 5. Whee! So I did use some of this money when we went on holiday in August. So there should be £80 that I have. I've also swapped some of the pound coins for some of the bags of change that I have completed from Bag It and Bin It. So let's have a go. We've got 15 in there, and everything is in this purse, which is where I've been saving it. So I've got 15, 20 in 5, 30 with a tenner of 10s, 50 with £20 in 20s, 70 with £20 in pound coins, and then I've got a £5 out of the purse and the £5 that I've had, that I've just stuffed now. So I've got 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, £80. So I am pleased with that one. So that will go into rollover as well. Hopefully we don't need to do it to fill up the gap in my budget with those work expenses and not getting so spending the work expenses and not getting my work expenses back. So I'll get that changed at the bank this week. and then I will pop that into rollover in my stuffing next week, and then we'll see what we can do with it at the end of the month, because I have redone my reallocation tracker that I have, so that would be great fun if I could reallocate that at the end of the month, but we'll see how we get on. Okay, so that is the first week of November all finalised. So let's move on to cash stuffing for the second week of November. Okay, so I've got a £100 placeholder, and then I should have £550 in cash. So let's give it a count and make sure. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 3, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 94, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 95. So 500, and 10, 25, 35, 45, 47, 49, 50. So that's 550 cash, and 100 in the placeholder is a total of 650. Okay, so let's pop the money over there, and we'll start with the weekly expenses. Oh, here we are. Okay, so food is getting 200 again, and I'm going to use the tenors, I think, or like a lot of the tenors. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 90. I think I missed a number out there, didn't I? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100, and 20, 40, 60, 80, 200. I did that a funny way around, didn't I? Started with the small numbers and started with the tens, went to the fives, went to the coins, and then went to the 20s. Right, so I'm going to take the £15. We'll put the rest of the money, I seem to have a envelope end. Put the rest of the money in there for now, because we're going to play Dice Dice Baby again. And I'm looking around thinking, where on earth have I put that dice? There it is. Okay, so for Dice Dice Baby, I roll this dice twice, and whatever that adds up to, I take that out of my food budget and it goes in this challenge. Okay, so first is 6 and 9, so 15. So we'll take the, do we take the 15? No, we'll keep the 5 and we'll take the 15. Okay, so that was 6 and 9, wasn't it? 6 and 9. Fabulous. Okay, and I'll just pop that in there. I'm going to have to find somewhere to put these coins, or I'll end up bursting my envelope. There we go. So that means I've got 185 for food, because I had 200, took the 15 off, I've got 185, which is great. My husband and I are off this week on annual leave, so it's probably a bit better, good that we've got a decent amount of food, because there's a couple of treats we thought we would have, and we have this favourite chicken biryani recipe, and I'll need saffron for it, and I'll probably need a couple of bits for it, I think, so it gives us a little bit of leeway with that budget. Household isn't getting added to because it's a monthly budget. Same with toiletries. Miscellaneous is getting £5. Put that one in there. Eating out is getting 20. So I think we'll do a £20 note. So that's got 25. And then we're on to my spending. And my spending this week, I think, is getting 30. If I am correct, I'm just checking my cheat sheet here. Yes, it is, it's 30. And where am I going to put that? I'll put it in the drawer. There we go. So 20, £30 for me. So I'm going to put 20. No, hang on a minute. Let's have a look and see where I am with my challenges. Let's see where I am. Right, if I use 20, that's it. Have a good shake, dog. If I use 20, I can actually complete this challenge. So I do still have a £50 IOU, but at least I've completed my part of it. And depending on how we do with the food budget going forward, I might actually get that one completed. Okay, so I've got £50 as an IOU, 70, 90, 110, 130, 140, 150, 160. So I have completed that one. Fabulous. And that's going to go towards my deposit for the cruise I'm going on with the girls in May. Can you hear the dog making funny noise? It's because I started eating my breakfast and I've left it on the side, and he wants it. So you might hear some funny noises coming from him while I record this video. He likes to talk to you. Okay, so £10 in my spending should be enough. I've got no plans at the minute. So that's the weekly expenses done. So we're going to move on now to sinking funds. So we'll start with annual as usual, which is in the blue one. So some of my binders are getting really tatty. I mean, I've been using them for 5 going on 6 years. And I've just watched Canny Tally's video with her new setup with all those beautiful ripple ripple binders. So yeah, I think I might have to add them to my Christmas list. Okay, so school is getting £40, and that will be towards the bus pass for next term. Nothing in medical and dentist. And then we're going right back to clothes, and this is my husband's monthly clothes allowance is 25. So, let's see what the total is. He's got 50 in the bank, and then he's got 75. So he's kind of, I think I mentioned before, he's not kind of aware of that. So, I mean, if he needs something, it's there. But otherwise, it'd burn a hole in his pocket. And then when he goes on holiday in January, he won't have any funds available to if there's anything he needs. I don't think there is anything he needs, but it's there if it is. Okay, so we're then going to do home projects. Okay, so home projects is the big things. So it's not the home maintenance where you just need a tin of paint or you need to fix a door handle or something. Home projects, which is in this home savings one, is for those bigger things. And at the moment it's the refurbishment and the kind of rebuilding from brick of our utility room. So I'm going to put the £100 placeholder in there. We have the flooring is due back in stock in November, so I want to go and pay for it while we're off this week. So I've got 150 in the bank, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 270, 275. And the flooring is 253. So that's the flooring and the fitting for both the utility and the downstairs loo. So one of our jobs this week when we're off is to mist coat the fresh plaster and then paint it. So there's a little bit left in there because my husband, let's just do it white. I don't want it white. I want it green. I want it like a smoke green colour because the flooring's got a bit of grey in it, and then the can you hear the dog talking? And it's got like the new bench is like a dark grey colour. So that's what I think I would like. Okay, so that's that placeholder in there. We'll get that job done of ordering that or paying for that order of lino this week. And then we're on to birthdays. So that's this one, the silver one again, which is going really tatty. Can you see I'm trying to convince myself that I really need some new binders? I mean, they still work, don't they? So I'm putting £20 into my birthday. So my birthday has 20, 40, 60, 80. And I need to colour in a cake. So I don't know if this is right pink. It's a bit brighter, I think, this one. I think the other one's actually a purple. And we'll light the candles. I think I need a few more candles than that. Like the Tower Inferno. There we go. So £80 in my birthday. And I think that's all there is for birthdays. Yes, there is. Okay. So then we're moving on to variable, which is the green one, which again is it's one of my oldest binders, and it's the one that gets used more than anything. And they don't make this one anymore because I get a few questions usually about where these metallic-y binders are from, and I can never find them now. So we are going to put some money into Costco at the back. So that's getting £30. Start that one off. There we go. And that's it for variable. And then we're on to beauty and self-care. This one's just a bit grubby. Okay, so I'm putting £20 into hair. So I have now got 20, 40, 60. I'll get funded next week because my hair and my nails are both due on next Saturday. And nails is getting 20. How much did I just put in hair then? Did I just put 20? I think I did, didn't I? If there's £20 left over at the end, that's where it is. I'll just wait and see. If nails is getting 20, 45. I think it is. Do you know what it is? I think it is. I'm going to put the £20 in. 20, 40, 60, 80. So I am fully funded for my haircut. Because I like to fully fund it the week before I have it cut. So if I'm £20 short, we know where it is. Okay, and then skincare is getting £10. So that's £20 in skincare, and that's for all of us. That's if we all want some sort of moisturisers or whatever, face washes and that kind of thing. It comes out of skincare. Okay, so that is all of my sinking funds stuffed, which didn't seem to take long at all, did it? Okay, so then we're going to do savings challenges, which is the blue one. So this one's in decent nick, I think. So I'm going to do the Friday saver, and I'm going to put £10 in because I've rounded these up so that they add up to a round number at the end of the month. So it's £10 again into the Friday saver. And that will put me on £20. There we go. And then I'm also going to do the 2025 because I'm way behind with this one and I would like to get it done. So we're going to put £25 in there. So let's cross that one off. Is it this blue? Yes, it is. Okay, so in the Friday saver now, I've got £100 in the bank and 20, 40, 45, 50. Oh, I know where there's a couple of fivers for next week's stuffing. Because I never go to the bank. I usually just use what I've got and then, what was I going to say? I don't go to the bank. I use what I've got, like when I go back to the bank and things like that, and then just move the fivers around. Makes life easier. Since the post office that's just round the corner from me, goodness me, got my teeth in. The post office round the corner from me shut a few months ago, and though the store's been reopened, they haven't reopened the post office. And then the other one in the village, it's a bugger to park, and it's just not a very nice shop at all. Okay, so we're going to do Christmas next. Christmas is coming, and there's not enough in the binder. So this one's a bit battered as well. It's just wearing out, aren't the colours coming off it? I think these are not very expensive ones. Okay, so £50 going into this one. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I will have to do some condensing at the end of this month with all these tenors. Okay, so let's just cross off the £50 first. So what are we going to do? I don't think I've got many 10s, you know. I think we'll do a 35 and a 15. There. It is filling up a bit, that one. So I have 300, 400 in the bank for 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, £510. So I'm over halfway in that one. That was right, wasn't it? 400. And 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 510. Yeah. Doubting myself. So 510 in that one. And then we're going to add to the gingerbread one. So this is not the gumdrop buttons. Oh, there's another fiver. So we'll do another gingerbread's head. And there's £10 in that one now. And then the last £20. Yeah, I did it right. I put the right money in here. It's going in keeping tabs on mince pies. I had taken out one of these trackers and I've realised I actually need it, so I've added it back in. So keeping tabs on mince pies. We'll do another 20. We'll do this one down here. And my husband, when I was away, said, I've bought something off the work van. You know the sandwich vans that go around work? He said, I bought you something. And so he's bought us a gluten-free, I think a vegan and everything free, mince pie about that big. It'll be my first one of the season. So I'm looking forward to that with a nice cup of tea. So I've got 20, 30, 40 pound in keeping tabs on mince pies now. So there we are. The funnest bit of the week is over when I get to cash stuff my envelopes. So there we go, £650 cash stuffed for week 2 of November. So I will be back Friday or Saturday next week with my cash stuffing for week 3 of November, and also my budget review to see how we did against week 2's budget, particularly with my husband and I being on a week of annual leave. So enjoy your weekend, have a super week, and I'll catch up with you all then. Bye bye.